Good morning, everybody. I have a prediction for you I want to talk about. I think the market is going to go up today, and I think it's also going to go down, and I think it may even go sideways for a little while. So I can pretty much guarantee that. Other than that, I got nothing. Chart levels, I got them up there. We do have news coming out at 8:45. So I'm not taking any trades. I may not take any at all today, because I've already met my profit goal for the day. If I do have a profit goal, I'm kind of torn on that. I have a number in mind for a profit for the month. I would like to at least make $200 a day average for the month, because that's kind of what I need to supplement my income. But they say it's not good to go into the market with that kind of a mindset where you're having a profit goal set and that's all you get, because you cut yourself short some days and then you overtrade trying to get it other days. So it's better to just not worry about the profit. Still, you got to keep in mind the loss and just take your trade set up, let it pan out, let it get you. You have your exit strategy. My entry strategy is, the reversal pattern. My exit strategy is reversal pattern in the other direction. But sometimes that may be 50, 60 points. So I just kind of watch the candles. If it's attempting to validate a breaker to the other direction, then I just get out. So that's kind of what we are there. So I have marked on here, this is NQ, this is ES. I have 75% pullback of the entire week, may or may not happen. 50% pullback, possible. 25% pullback. And then an extension of 25%. On ES yesterday, this was my level right here that I thought we might go to. We did take it a couple of times overnight. We did hit it pre-market. And on ES, or on NQ, October low was what I was thinking. And we hit it yesterday during regular trading hours. That's our RTH low. And we also have hit it in pre-market a couple of times. Could we push lower? Absolutely. Extending the weekly range on a Friday is not common, but it does happen. If we extend it, 25% is kind of the benchmark. But after yesterday's sell-off, anything could happen. Normally after a big sell-off like that, you would expect some sort of a pullback, but a lot of times it just ranges. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. Looks like the market is open. I'm going to go ahead and change this over to RTH so we can watch that opening candle and get our gap information. You may want to try for gap fill. I don't know. This is where we open, new day, NDO, new day open, and then settlements there. And on NQ, settlements quite a bit further away. We did put up a nice PD array when we took this low down here, but we didn't go anywhere after that. So we didn't leave town. So we got a little more work to do around here. I'm going to let that first 30 minutes play out, so we're just going to see candles dance between now and then. What you can do at the open is mark out that first 1 minute candle. So what kind of size we dealing with here on that first 1 minute. For ES, it is a, wow, that's a big one. Let me see there. I'm a little bit off on the top, so let's just say 20 point candle on ES for the opening range candle. A lot of people call the first minute the opening range. I call it the first 30 minutes. This gray box is a fair value gap on the weekly chart, and we worked it hard all night. Let's see what we're looking like over here for NQ. 105 point opening range candle. That's a massive candle. So volatility definitely going to be an issue today. When you have a 105 point 1 minute candle, I mean, during the open, it's not that uncommon, but usually this candle is not nearly that big. But it still is. The high and the low, you want to keep an eye on it. Because a lot of times, whichever one we break first is the direction we'll go for the day. But that's such a huge one, I don't know. Over here on ES, we broke low first. Now we go take out the high, and then we would go back low again. You could also call this a run on liquidity and this a breaker. No, wait, no. Push down, we look for the last up close. It would be that. So if we break to the upside, we may keep going. But typically, that opening range, that first candle, the high and the low of it, will be a line in the sand for price. A lot of people will place orders at the high and the low of that, and whichever one we take first, let's say we take that one, stop goes above the high. But you got to put it a little bit more above the high. I don't ever trade that, but there are some people that do it, and if you go back and back test it, you'll see you're not going to win every trade, but when you win them, they're usually huge. A lot of times that candle will be the, as Hogue likes to call it, the dead ass low of the day or the dead ass high of the day. On this one, yesterday, that's our first candle right there. And we broke to the upside, giving the impression we were going up. But once we took the low of it, we hauled ass. That yesterday was unusual. So this day here, opening range candle here, we poked the low, and then we went up, took the high, went on a monumental run. You could put orders on the top and the bottom if you wanted to, and just see which one gets filled. Here we poked the low, then we went and poked the high, and then we dropped out of bed. So I don't know, I wouldn't call it an exact science, but it's just a quick little first trade. If you catch it, it can be awesome. Let's see. This one here, we broke high first, went on a nice big run. Left the bottom, we didn't even take the bottom. And this is just ES. NQ can be a little bit more crazy. I have a feeling this isn't an entire day. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this one we broke low, head fake, probably took out pre-market low or something. And then once we went through the high, a lot of times they'll go to the high and go back down. Once we went through the high, that was it. This one, we pushed lower, went and took out the stops, just the stops above the opening range high, and then fell out of bed. I don't know if that's a strategy you would want to try to use. It may be worth it if you got a big pile of money in your account to take one trade at that opening range high or low, and just maybe you get lucky. This one here, we ducked, took out the high. Adios payah the rest of the day, or not the rest of the day, but the rest of the morning. That's a big one. So if you do put those orders on the high and low, you got to leave enough room at the top of it for it to run those stops, because that's what it will do. If it breaks lower, run the stops. That may be our direction for the entire morning. So this one here broke higher. Well, it broke there. That's our first break of the top. Then we broke the bottom, ran the stops. Then we went up here, and then we. So you would have that would have been a losing day most likely, unless you just took a quick profit. So if we got filled there and our stop was here, we would have got stopped out. That would have been one of those losers. This one looks like more than one day, but it's not. Okay, so this one we broke high, ran up, consolidated. You could just take your profit right there. And then once we broke the low, you could even mark that out. We broke the low with a fair value gap. We pushed lower again. That was a good day. Nice reversal patterns. Well, they're choppy reversal patterns, but you could probably go in there and find one. So today's price action is exactly what I thought it would be, sideways. It's in a huge range. This is a huge freaking range, but it's a range. Going sideways. What are these? These are 1 minute candles. Yeah, waiting on that news to come out. If you're a range trader, you can take the high and the low of that and be all right, but I'm not a range trader. I'm going to put on a 5 minute on both of them, so I'm not tempted to jump in on a trade. If they're high and low or a 5 minute, working this weekly fair value gap to the upside. I would like to see us take pre-market low with a big number and then head back up to that blue line, the 4-hour RTH, or vice versa. Take the blue line and then head down to pre-market low. Either way, or just take pre-market high, head to pre-market low. My hypo for the whole month, we're not that far away. 23,000 is where I think we're heading. Hopefully by the next, I don't know if we'll get there on holiday week. We only need about, we need 500 points a day, and yesterday we got a lot of them. But we started 500 points up, so Right now we're sitting about at 500 points a day mark. I don't think we'll drop 500 a day, but we need to get there to have a proper Santa Claus rally. Ah, man, yeah. So big number took out the low of that thing. Oh no, here's the big number. Big difference. There it is. 845. Flash manufacturing. Got a little flash on the flash manufacturing. I'm not going to look at them small candles. I don't want to get tempted. We have not filled the gap. We opened with one and didn't fill it yet. Let's mark it out. There's our open. I'm not quite on it, and there is settlement. We need to get rid of our 25% extension. There we go. I'm a little bit off on the top for ES. There we go. Good, good, good. And I'm a little bit off on the bottom, looks like. Not much. There we go. Good. Looks like we're going to fill it before I even get it marked out. There's half gap right there. If we only go to half gap, there's potential that we may bounce. And there is, yeah, we've about got it filled already. I need to get rid of this line. I don't know why it's on there. All right, so we took that one yesterday, but I'm gonna leave it on there. I think it's pretty important. This should be yellow. No, it needs to be that color, but it needs to be the light color. There we go. 4-hour RTH, yesterday's low. I had pre-market low marked on here. There it is. We dipped way low than the pre-market. We could continue to fall out of bed here this morning, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's listening. Put your name in the chat if you're watching. We need some of that mood music, don't we? I do. Happy, positive, wake up energy music. Let's see how happy and positive it is. Oh, there we go. It sounds like the kind of music I'd listen to if I was going to want to go to sleep. So we didn't fill all the gap. Oh, we did over here. We filled it. And man, did we ever go on a run. I bet you we're getting 100.1 minute candles over here on NASDAQ. I am not touching this sucker until it calms down. That, we know the opening candle was 109. It looks like the longest one of the day. This one might surpass it. Wow. I mean, could you even get in on a trade there? We didn't take the pre-market low, but that's okay because we swept this low pre-market. That's New York session. We don't need to revisit it. Let this first 30 minutes play out, guys. Let it play out. This is too crazy. So, since the opening range, 109 point candle. This is our biggest one, I think. 82 points. Wonderful if you're on the right side of it. Not so good if you're upside down on that sucker. So, if we look at these 1 minute candles, we could say we ran liquidity here, back to settlement, new day open. Our breaker, our last up close candle before the run down is this one right here. So if we can have candle bodies start closing above, and I want both indexes to match above this line right here, you get a fair value gap, and we respect it, could have potential for more upside. But I do not expect a whole lot of that good price action today. I expect it to range. It typically does. You think it's going to go somewhere and then it doesn't. It typically does that after a big sell-off day. Sometimes it does. We can go back to October 10 and we can look at that day. I'll do it over here in ES. I think I got all those locked into place. It's going to be a lot of scrolling. October 10. October 10. All right. This is the last day we had a big sell-off like that. The next day we opened with a big gap up and we pretty much just did this business all day long. Zippity-doo-dah day. There was some movement, but it was just erratic. It was hard to get a read on it. That's what I expect to see today. But we did not open with a huge gap up. So, I don't know. Anything could happen. That's what you typically see after a big day like that. That was also during government shutdown, I believe, maybe right at the beginning of it. I'm just going to hit a different time frame. Maybe it'll take us back to the beginning. There we go. Back to the 5 minute, so we don't get tempted to jump into an ugly trade. That 5 minute will tell you a whole lot. Candle bodies give you the narrative. Wicks do the damage. These candle bodies right here are saying, hey, we might be going up. Candle bodies here, dead even, pretty close to even. Yeah, we might. We might be going somewhere. This one might be okay. Autumn in Tennessee, Smoky Mountain, fiery music. Activate your brain.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia.
That's what this one's all about.
It hit me hard. It did.
We have 6 minutes for the opening range to complete. Any more news coming out? I don't think so. I think that was it. Oh, we do. We have revised consumer sentiment coming out at 9. Final wholesale inventories. Revised University of Michigan, I think that is. Inflation expectations. So, yeah, I'm sitting on the hands. But this is putting up a nice little... It is getting above the breaker here. But pre-market high to pre-market low is also a very common thing. NQ took its pre-market high, ES did not. Let's go to a 1 minute here and let's just see. I don't really like the idea of even taking anything before, but we did push through with a fair value gap, but we also took the pre-market high. So I don't know. This would have to really show me something special for me to want to take it. We also took the high of the opening range right there. And settlement. Could get upside here. See if that stays open. $59-point candle. Alpha waves. Is your brain feeling energized yet? Hey Muhammad, how are you, sir? I've already got my profit, Muhammad, and I'm really not thinking I'm going to take a trade today. I might. If we get a really nice setup, I might. But I'm only going to run the stream for just a little while. I'm not going to run it very long today. This is exactly the price action I expected today. Ripping one way, ripping the next, taking everybody's money. If anybody made money yesterday on this move down, they're trying to get it back today. We did take pre-market high, but we've already been to settlement. So why would we need to come back down here? Pre-market high to pre-market low, very common move. Very common move. So maybe we need to be looking at downside potential with this being our last down close before the run up, and look at that as being our potential. Do we need this on here anymore? I don't think so. I'm gonna get rid of it. We're working it. We're working the heck out of it. But we worked it already. It's no longer an aim point. So here's our guy for downside potential. Right there. And on the ES, about the same. We filled the gap. I don't think we needed, I mean, we still need to fill the gap over here, but it's okay if we don't or do. We got settlement down there. We don't need to look at the quadrants on it anymore. So yeah, downside if we're going to go down. But over here on ES, we did not take the pre-market high. So yeah, I'm seeing a whole bunch of leave this alone price action right now. Leave it alone. We took the high of the opening range here, but we did not take pre-market high. Pre-market high is round number. The trades I got into yet last night are all reaching for round number, and we still haven't taken it. Not even, it went to 999, didn't take it. $99975, and couldn't get one more lousy tick to get it. Sorry, no good. But yeah, this is looking bad. Money stealing, no good. Sorry, dirty rotten. How about we bounce between two potential breakers, one to the up, one to the down. One minute until University of Michigan consumer sentiment numbers come out. A medium impact news driver. Let's see if it makes anything bounce. go. Pre-market high. Can we get the pre-market low? That's a nice run if you can catch that trade, guys. Real nice run. RTH 4-hour low. This is yesterday's low on that big run down. We could bounce there. ES is still trying to make settlement, so I would actually take this trade. If we validate this breaker and this remains open, I will take this trade. Not going to put a lot of size on because we are volatile. And we just took this 4-hour low. I think pre-market could be the target here. We could even work off of this one because it's below the breaker. Over here on NQ, it would either be this one or that one that we're working off of. We're just going to have to watch it and see. NDO got tapped. We also just took out the low of the regular trading session so far. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it over here on ES. But I'm just going to do one so I don't get in a jam. I'm going to even pump it up just a little higher right there to the breaker high. Because this isn't even a fair value gap. I might miss it. Taking that high, we should take that high right there. That should fill me. That gives me a lot of room. I hope we don't go back up there. I will kill it, but if we get that deep in the hole. But my take profit, I'm thinking, I'm going to aim for pre-market low. I think we need to take this level during the regular session. 21 bucks down. This needs to respect that, or I've got to take it off. Because we did take this. We need to mark out the entire breaker so we get a reference of high and low of it. Candle bodies break above, we're in trouble. They can go all the way, even wicks can go above it. But we didn't take pre-market high over here, so we may be in a jam here, guys. Yeah, we're pushing above. This one's going to 20, not an uncommon rotation. But man, we've already gone up 100 points over here on NQ after taking that low. Still have settlement, still have pre-market low. We also have this fair value gap. On a 15-second chart, we may be working into that. Let's look at that real quick. We are moving so fast, 15-second chart might be okay. So yeah, there's the breaker on the 15-second chart, right there. Let's see how it performs around it. Really not too bad. As long as we continue down from here, we'd be good. See what this one looks like on a 15-second chart. Really, its base is where we are right now, and its high is right there, and we've respected it so far. I'll hold. Might add. But we did validate this breaker on a 15-second chart as well. can get back below my entry, I think I will add at my entry. Come on. That's back to that 15-second breaker here. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay here. Come on, get me one more in there. Get me one more. Give me one more. All right, good. So now we got two. Now I just need it to fall out of bed. It will be good. Now I may be wrong on this. It may be it's respecting this one. It is. So we're gonna need this next candle. This one needs to finish lower than these, or I've got to kill it. Well, it's 15 seconds, so the next three need to finish lower than this one right here, preferably lower than that. That's not good. Not bad, but not good. Let's go to a 1 minute here so we're not so enamored by this guy. Those 15-second candles can look bad. The 1 minute candles can look bad too. All right, let's make a new low right here on this candle. New low. New low. Good. Good. Keep pushing. You dirty rat, Fink. Give me some money. At least settlement. Get me to at least settlement. I think this one's got some teeth. Pre-market low, ideally. That's where I'd like to see it go. But we are ranging pretty bad, so maybe I should just try for settlement. Maybe I should go to break even. I think we're okay on this one. Maybe not. 122. Went back to new day, opening gap over here. Haven't touched any of that stuff over here. Revisit that low. Let's get to pre-market low. You can do it. Opening range break, trade is valid. Thank you, sir. This is actually my opening range low right here. But opening range candle number, the first candle of the day, is what some people call the opening range. I do the high and the low of the first 30 minutes as my opening range, but because that's what ICT told me to do. NQ's actually going there. ES is kind of sluggish. Doesn't want to move down. That opening range candle low, and even New York Open right there, is what Muhammad is talking about. We broke below it. And so we should push. We should push. Maybe a choppy mess, but we're gonna push. Maybe. Hopefully. We may just take these lows and pop right back up. That's what it's looking like. Maybe I should play the range. Take my profit, try to get back in where I am again. That's what I did last night. Got me a little bit of cashola on the deal there. Push, you dirty rat. Let's go. Get us one of them 100-point candles now. Where those go? Where those all of a sudden disappear? Don't put them the other direction. We need them to the downside here, guys. I'm getting nervous. I want to take it off. We should have made a new low by now. We really should have. We're bouncing off round number over here. We pushed down to 80, popped right back up to round number. I think when we take those lows, we're going to rip back higher. That might even get me in the hole. Very nervous about this trade. I'm thinking right here, I'll get back in somewhere else. I'll take that $100 bill. If I can even get it. I need to put it at break even here. I don't know that we're even going to get it. I'm out. I'm going to try to re-enter right here. I don't know. I'm going to watch this a second. The momentum did not follow this. Didn't follow it. Got a couple of bucks. So at this point, what I would be waiting on, I'm not going to get in this mess anymore. I got lucky on that one. You had to go to a 15-second breaker to get anything that would work with this. And we had no follow through. So I got lucky on that one. Down here, if we can make it, we should get a nice reversal pattern back to the upside, at least a settlement. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at for my trade of the day. These PD arrays mean nothing at this point. I mean, they may end up working out, but they don't mean anything to me, so I'm taking them off. There it goes. Should have been more patient. It's all right. better off looking for a trade when it gets to where it's going than you are trying to get in a trade and taking it to where it's going. Because it can go up and down 150,000 points many times before it actually gets to where it's going. But when it gets to where it's going, you can get a nice reversal pattern. Look at that 15-minute chart. Is that saying let's take some trades? Not really. Still a huge swing already. Total swing over here on NQ, 252 points. Nothing like yesterday, comparatively. About this time yesterday is when we started falling out of bed. So the time of day is definitely right to fall out of bed. This is the 945 candle, 10 candle. So that's our opening range high now. We already took pre-market high. Change the name of it. I'll just put OR. And the low is right there. We just took it. I'll just call it this one. OR low. Is that my TP? No, that's not my TP. That's settlement right there, I guess, but it didn't get there yet. It took the bottom of those wicks, though. I've had it go the other way. It was making me nervous, making me real nervous. That's a chop fest. I think it's going down here. I really do. But the market doesn't care what I think. My prediction, buy maybe even, it may have to work in the early part of December, right here. I would like to see it happen before, like today, maybe next week, but on a holiday week, really, are we going to really push that much lower? Maybe. But we need to get down here. I put wheelie instead of weekly. We need to get down here in order to have this Santa Claus rally that everybody's expecting. Some years it doesn't happen, the Santa Claus rally, but falling off in fall is normal. We fall during the fall. And we haven't been doing that. And then now we started. But this is the place we need to go. If you look at the weekly chart, that's where a billionaire would buy. He's had his order sitting there since all those relative equal lows formed, right there. And we're not that far away. We're only 1,000 points away. Same PD array over here on NQ. Look at that. Relative equal lows, all of them. Boom, 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 boom. And a weekly fair value gap. I think we come down, we wick into this, and then we start our December rally. That's, to me, that's the goal. And I was beginning to question when NVIDIA reported its earnings and we went up and opened 500-600 points above the market, above settlement. until we fell out of bed yesterday, and I was like, okay, yeah, my hypo is definitely correct. We're definitely heading down here. But we, that October low, that could be all we wanted. It could, we may not go down here, but I think this is the draw. I really, really do. That area has to be revisited at some point. It's just too clean. It's just too straight of a line not to be revisited. And we're that close. Yesterday we moved 1,000 points in one day. We couldn't move 500 points in 2 days. I think we could, or 1,000 more points, and next week's going to be rough, but we could possibly get there. Early part of December, it may have to work into that, but I think that's where we're going. Let's see if there's any news next week that could serve as a catalyst to drive us down there.
This holiday, Verizon is helping you bundle up incredible gifts and savings.
My other one didn't have any ads.
With a new line on my plan. And a brand new smartwatch and tablet.
Did we already finish it? No. We're just going to run ads. So Monday, no news Monday. Tuesday, core PPI. That could do some work. Wednesday, unemployment claims, prelim GDP. That could do some work. But they say tentative. And Thursday, we have the holiday. I don't know that we'll trade at all on Thursday. Friday's usually a half day. So, holiday week's going to screw everything up. Let's go back to our 5 minute. Hey, I'm at $400 on the day. I should stop. Look at that. We're going right back up. Above the opening range low. 1 minute candle. Yeah, I don't trust any of this. I don't trust it. Not one bit of this. Nope. Saying, this is a little PD array right here, is saying, stay away from me. I will steal all your money. Don't even come close. I'm glad I got what I got out of that. I might have got $100, but if I would have left it like Muhammad told me to do. But they are in straight money stealing mode right now. And that's exactly the candle I was afraid of when I was in that trade. Because it can happen in the blink of an eye. I mean, I was in right here at 73, waiting for it to take those lows, possibly come down here. That could have happened easily when I was in that trade. And that's what has happened to me. I got market PTSD. That's happened to me a million times, especially in the last 8 weeks. I do have one thing today, though, that I like. I don't have a whole lot of money in here, but I will get money in there. No, not that one. This one. Nope, not that one. This one. This is day 4. I took my payout this week. Straight loss. Got down to $18. And look at my week this week. Woo! 4 qualifying days. Took it into shorts yesterday. That was actually in the overnight session. And I took that one trade and killed. Tried 2 longs, got smoked. So I should have just joined the down move. I would have been a whole lot better off. I mean, that would have been enough for another payout. I would have been able to take a payout today if I would have just taken that. I was in the short. If I would have just left it on, I could have been getting another payout today. But I didn't, so can't cry over spilt milk. But this one, qualifying day. Average for the week, I didn't make my goal of 1,000, but got close. I think next week's going to be a lot better because I've cleaned up my act a little bit here. I'm not trading like a freaking maniac right now. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a PD array to show itself instead of just saying, I wonder if we're going there. Yeah, it looks like we are going there, and then clicking and finding out we're not going there. We're getting one of these rips up the behind. So I am waiting. I won't take a trade in any of this unless we get down here. And even if it gets down here, I'm gonna want to see a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous reversal pattern. It has to be perfect, or I'm not gonna take it because I'm not gonna ruin my qualifying day. We will get a gorgeous reversal pattern at some point again, and that's the one I'll take, and I'm gonna hold it this time, and I'm gonna have one of them $1,000 days for my final payout day. And I've actually got that. What was I saying? Oh, and this other account too. Black Betty's in bad shape right now. She's gonna need some special love and attention. But this account here is also on day number 4 qualifying. But it doesn't have any money in it. None. That doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't have them paired. And you can see on this one I had it on a $200 max loss, and I did it in Asia 2 days in a row that I didn't even get to trade it at all. That one was barely qualifying, but it's qualifying. And so I got 4 here. So I've got these paired. If I can get a day, this one's still negative, so it's going to take a while before I can get there. But if I can get a day that, $1,500 day like I've had in the other one, I'm back. I'm in the green on this one finally, and then I'll just work it up to where I can get a payout on it. That's the goal. Keep everything real small until I can go big without breaking the bank and losing the account. And I believe I'll get there. Come too far. I've come too far. I will get there. Oh, I don't like this price action. It's exactly what I expected. A bunch of hoppy choppy business. Normal after a big day like this. We may have a push here and then go back up, but all of this is saying high resistance liquidity runs. And high resistance liquidity runs are the kind that you're going to get in your trade. You're going to be up $100 and you're going to get stopped out at break even or stopped out for a loss. And those are not days I like to trade. It could clean up in the afternoon. We could actually see some good movement, but the morning session so far to me sucks. Right now it's 9:30. I'm going to give it 30 more minutes to do something, and then that's it. I'm calling it for the day. Going into the holiday week. Next week, we could see really lackluster price action. Could see a barn burner of a week. We could work it down there to those relative equal lows I've been talking about for a month. I remember when those formed, I was like, we got to take those lows, and we just never did. Saving them for later. Saving them for the Santa Claus rally. If you're a range trader, I'm sure you're a millionaire already this morning. You know something, while we're just sitting here doing absolutely nothing, I want to look at yesterday's price action. This little setup right here, you know, we had our breaker. We had our fair value gap. We took out that high, opening range high. And I don't know if I want to put these lines on it or not, but I'll try it. You know what I'll do? I'll put it on MNQ. This isn't doing anything I want to see, so I'm just going to get rid of it all over here. And we'll do it right here on MNQ. This might be fun. Until we get down here, I'm not interested anyway, so. Uh-oh. Did I just put my line on there? May have. Alright, so this was yesterday's stuff. We'll put on a 1 minute. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay, there we go. It's pushing again. One thing I've noticed about Top Step, everybody trades a different system, but they all make money. Interesting, huh? So we take this high. Here's our breaker to the downside, right here. Our first presentation fair value gap, I had marked out, is a little bitty one right here. And we wicked into it. That's actually where it, when it did that, that's when I took the trade on ES. I took it on ES because it was too volatile over here. But that's our breaker right there. All right, so what do I want to check? Indicators, okay? There's all these different indicators you can use, and a lot of people swear by them. Let's look at something like Bollinger Bands. Okay, I don't even know how to use Bollinger Bands, but how do you use Bollinger Bands? Okay, I used them at one time. I really did. I tried to learn them. But there's something, maybe, I don't know where, how would you get a signal to get in on there? Just seeing how it corresponds with my PD array. So the price is above the line, when the price drops below the line, maybe touches the blue line, then you get in. I don't know where you'd get in. I don't know how you would use that to get in. Looky here, we're getting close. We're getting close. I would not have survived that big run up there, but we're getting close. Let's look at another one. Another favorite. Chalk and money flow, volatility. I don't know if they have the Ikemochi cloud or not. I used to use it. There it is. Let me get rid of the other one. Bollinger Bands gone. Pre-market low, taking it. So how would we figure out how to get in there based on the cloud? I think it has something to do. I used to use it, but it's been so long I've forgotten how to use it. We got some price action here that I like. So now we've taken the pre-market low. We'll save this project for later. I just want to see, you know, a lot of people use that stuff. A lot of people use it. How's ES performing with its pre-market low? It's not there yet. NQ's already made it. If I would have left just one of these ES on, I might have been able to survive that run up. This is the run up. So it would have got me in the hole 20 points. 20 points on ES. That would have been about $100. But I would have maybe. I mean, it's just poking that low right there. We got pre-market low over here. Let's go 1 minute. See if we get a reversal pattern. Overnight low may or may not have any bearing on this at all. So I marked it, but it doesn't have to take it. This is New York session business. This is New York session business here. So if it does want to take it, that would be good because ES could go take its pre-market low. This one could take the overnight low, and then we could put up a reversal pattern. That would be just wonderful. We got a few minutes. Let's go over here. I can't remember how to use the cloud, but it has something to do. It's kind of like a combination of Bollinger Bands. It has something to do with the cloud here itself. I don't know how you would use it to get in on this trade. When price drops below the cloud, you'd go short, maybe. What would you do over here? Convoluted mess. Let's do a really popular one. Really, really popular one. Exponential moving average. Exponential moving average. Oh, we could do the cross. There we go. EMA cross. Okay, so here's the crossover. So we just go short right there on the crossover, and then we're making money. That actually isn't too bad. If we just go short at the crossover. As soon as they cross, where would we getting short at? Here or here? That would have been fine there. This cross would have been here. Depending on where you got in, you might have got smoked on that candle. So the cross is right about the breaker. You'd have been fine on that one, for sure. You got in on that cross, you'd have been okay too, most likely until it came down to here. Interesting. That's interesting. So, free market low has been taken. We're attempting to validate a breaker, maybe. Made a higher low. This will be our purple guy. One I used to use all the time was MACD. Good old MACD. Moving average. MACD. See if I can remember the histogram, all that good stuff. So it had something to do with a crossover and a drop below zero. Here we crossed over. Here we came back up. There's a crossover there. Would you get in there? Why wouldn't you get in there? Would that give us a signal to get in right here? It's moving average convergence divergence. Looking at it now, you can see a correlation. And you can also see MACD diverging. Higher highs, but lower here. maybe that can give you some sort of a signal. Let's get rid of that. Let's try RSI. Yeah, that's a new one. I mean, that's a lovely one. RSI divergence, oversold, overbought. Let's do RSI. Let's see how it compares. Well, we need to get rid of Mac. Mac's got to go away. There we go. Okay, so RSI right here. Oh yeah, we're in the over. We're getting close to the overbought signal, as we were here too, and here. So if you just sold every time it got to overbought, you'd be fine, right? What about here? No divergence. You could say there's a little divergence because they're almost equal there, and there's a big difference there. Well, we got down here to oversold, so now it's time to buy, right? Nope. 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 We're trying to validate this breaker here, guys. Trying to validate it. So RSI, maybe you could catch a trade. I don't know if you're going to get consistent with it, but some people are, very. The guy that introduced me to this, he uses RSI divergence for getting himself into every trade. It's not the only thing he uses, but it is one of the things he uses. This is our lowest low here, so we are not validating the breaker yet. I think we got more downside. Possibly. Where's the breaker over here? Same situation, only a little higher. See, I don't like that these things aren't in line with one another. Why didn't we take the pre-market low here? Why didn't we take the pre-market high here when we took both of them over here? Don't like that. What do we need? A 50 EMA, a 20 EMA? That was another big one. Another big one. Why is it doing that? EMA. Exponential moving average. Let's just put that on there for a minute. Could that give us any indication? I was actually told very early on to use this. And when price drops below it and then comes back up to it and touches, that's where you enter. So you could have actually entered right there where it touched and you'd have been fine. Here, would you have been fine? Nope. When it crosses over and it comes back down and touches it, you can enter for long. You'd have been good there. But you would not have been good here. You could have got in right there even. Well, this is like a, what, 9 period EMA? Yeah, it's a 9. So you need one a little bigger than that. You need like a 20 or maybe a 50. 50 is the most accurate, they say. 50 period EMA. We never got back to touching it. We crossed below it, but we never got back to touching it. Maybe if we adjust it and we put it as a 20, then we could get a good signal. This is really trying to validate that breaker. I'm watching it. Don't think I'm not. Maybe if we got a 20. Could we get a touch there? Nope. No touch. 9 is the one you got to go with on this particular day, evidently. It's just got to be the 9. NASDAQ is actually trying to validate its breaker now. Back, pushing into the opening range low, that first. That's actually the opening range low, not the first minute. We took these highs. Did we offer lower here? Is this a liquidity run? Sure looks like it. So no, I don't know that the EMA is going to be our holy grail. What if we did the Williams alligator? That one's got to be it. When the alligator opens its mouth, it's time. The alligator opened its mouth right here. We crossed over, all three of them crossing over right here. That's pretty much in line with that. This has got to be the one, right? But they crossed over here too. We went short here, we got smoked. They crossed over here, we went long here, we would have been okay. That would actually line up pretty good right there. When they all three cross over and the alligator opens its mouth, go short. When they all cross over and the alligator opens its mouth, go long. So here, if you went long, I bet you'd get smoked on that right there. So I don't know that they're the holy grail. Maybe they could get you to a 50% win rate. Maybe. So we're not validating as far as a fair value gap above the breaker here. Not a trade I'm interested in yet. I don't like the fact that ES is not taking any of these levels, because I think it's going to address them at some point. But it doesn't have to. I don't usually, I mean, I was trading primarily NASDAQ. I would watch ES sometimes, but because NASDAQ has been so volatile, putting up these giant candles, I had to do something to keep my P&L from getting wiped. That's a 50-point candle. One candle, one minute candle. So Williams alligator may have helped us get in on this trade. That actually looks pretty good with the touch of a breaker. I don't hate it. What others? What others? What's a rune? Oh, this one, Arnold. Armad. Ahmad's moving average. I don't even know how to use his. Oh man, we're pushing. We didn't validate that breaker. We took out these highs and now we're falling out of bed again. What in the world's going on here? VWAP. When we cross below VWAP, go short. But VWAP is different. I mean, is that how we would use it? When we bounce off of VWAP, go long, perhaps? VWAP bands, maybe? Would that be our... Don't know that VWAP would be our holy grail there. I mean, we could go long every time we touched it here. We could go short when we crossed over there. We could actually do pretty good with VWAP there. That's looking really nice on the upside. Here, when we touch it, sell, sell, sell. VWAP might actually have some sort of street cred to it. I don't ever use VWAP. Let's look at it where we're trading right now. We touched, you can make money. You touch, you make money. You touch, you make money. You touch, you make money. We cross through. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We touch. Here, we make money. Fair value gap. We cross over. We didn't touch. We touch there. Do we make money? Yeah, we make money there. Now we're above. Come out, touch, make money. Oh man, look at that. What are we gonna do there? On a day like today, we're below VWAP. Oh, we're below VWAP. Now what are we gonna do? All roads lead to VWAP, so we're looking for an opportunity to get back to it. VWAP might actually hold some stuff. To me, it just provides a distraction. So no, I'm not going to use that indicator, but it actually may have been okay.
Can I confess
there.
something, Lama?
I'm all ears.
Since you recommended Monday.com's AI blocks, work got so much easier.
I know.
We trying to revalidate this breaker here now. We respected it. Look at that. We respected it. Halfway point, putting up a fair value gap to the upside. We're heading back to VWAP. Look at there, we're heading back to the VWAP. But where is VWAP anchored to something? What is VWAP based on? Just straight out of the box VWAP. We got to go back to it, right? Here's the thing about VWAP though, it's moving. It will come to your price. Price doesn't have to go to it. It'll come to your price. Nope, no VWAP for me. So, somebody, let's see. Muhammad, do you have any of these you'd like to use? We actually did put a fair value gap to the upside here. We may respect it. We did respect the breaker. We have taken the pre-market low. This is all NASDAQ stuff. ES did not do any of that. But it doesn't mean that this is a bad trade setup. It could be. But to me, we're just in this pile of crap. It looks like a PD array that we could use. It possibly is. I'm not going to trust it. I'm not going to trust it. So what other indicators could we test here to see? The MACD crossover was one I used to use a lot. I would use the EMA crossover too. Dawn chain channels, I don't know how to use those. But somebody does. Whoever created them, I guarantee you whoever created them can use them and make money with them. Commodity channel index, Connors RSI, McGinley dynamic, adaptive moving average, triple moving average, weighted moving average. Let's see what weighted moving average is all about. The line's so tight you can't even do anything with it. I don't think that one's our holy grail. What's Williams fractal all about? Oh, it's whenever it tells you the high and the low of the candle. Yeah, that's really going to be helpful. I can see the high and the low of the candle without a dot being on it. There was one, it was dots. It was a bunch of dots. And when the dots lined up, what was that one called? As I thought when I found it, oh, this is going to do it. This is going to do it right here. Why are we violating a breaker when we already went out and validated it? That's not right. Linear line regression. It had something to do with those dots. Moving average with EMA cross. Wonder what majority rule is. It must be like an RSI type thing. I don't like it. What was that one that had the dots? EMA cross was a big one. Man, you could get a lot of false signals off of that sucker. This one would have got you some money if you bought when it crossed over right there. If you bought when it crossed over right there, you would have been buying on this candle. No. False signals are the biggest problem with indicators. Or late signals. Late signals can are also a big problem. Kroll stop. Chap zone. Choppiness index. I bet that's high today. On-chain channels. Ease of movement. Hull. Maybe it's the Hull moving average. Is that the one with the dots? No. No dots. Hull moving average. I know I used it at some point. I tried everything. Moving average channel. How do you even use it? Fixed range volume profile. What's that? MAC. Get out of there. Fixed range volume profile. Let's try it. Yeah, we did a volume profile thing too. So we got single prints up here. We got point of control. Single prints right here and there. Huh. Now point of control's way up here. We would have to just use today. Only today, not the overnight. Fixed range, today. Ooh, point of control's way up here and we wicked into it. We're working through some single prints right here, guys. Yeah, we're just gonna fly through this area. So we did validate the breaker with a fair value gap above, and then we invalidated it. Exactly what I thought it was gonna do. Because we're in a trash zone. We are in a trash zone. But we're still respecting the lower end of this breaker. I'm not even gonna mark it. Don't you believe it. Nope. This is exactly the price action I expected today. If we can take this pre-market low in ES, then maybe we got some stuff. Look at that single print getting taken out right there. This has got to be the reversal point because we took out a single print on the market profile. It's got to be, right, guys? Got to be. It's got to be the reversal. We took out the single. You take Hogue and Deanna on Top Step, they can read this stuff like a book, and they know how to use it, and they make money with it. If you took yesterday's price action only, we had a crap ton of single prints. What do you do with that day? What do you do with a day like that? Let's move it on yesterday. Maybe if it'll let me move it. Yeah, let's just do that yesterday. And we'll move this to the close of yesterday. Oh yeah. So they would be thinking, well, we got a single print here. This could possibly be where we go to. Yesterday's point of control. Oh, we got some volume up here. We got all these here. Lots of single prints that we could take out. The point of control was the highest volume right here, where we ended the day. So possibly today, we take out our pre-market low, maybe the overnight low. Maybe we trade all the way down to 25% extension of the week and then return to point of control. That's the way we could use it as a possible. For me, these 4-hour highs and lows, they're plenty good. Plenty good. We don't need all this. It's just extra clutter. Extra clutter. But the people that use it, they swear by it and they make money with it. You watch that Top Step, I watched it religiously for a year and a half. And I tried to learn everybody's stuff. Every person on there, I tried to learn all their different strategies and see if they would work for me. And I just couldn't get it. But when I found ICT, I was like, that's something I think I can learn to spot. And it does work. But I'm not saying none of these others do work too, because everybody on there is making money. They're all doing it. They're all making money. It's just what resonates with you. This resonates with me. Matt Miller, he uses range candles and VWAP bands. I don't even know if we have VWAP bands. And he does wonderful with it. VWAP bands. Yeah, we don't have it over here. Yeah, he uses VWAP bands as a very special indicator that he gets from Sierra charts. And he also uses range candles instead of these kind of candles. Let's see if we can find a range candle. No, we don't have that over here either. I know at one time I used Heikin-Ashi, and when the Heikin-Ashi turns colors, or Renko, I've seen people use that too. I'm not doing any of that. All right, so we came back down again, pushed into this bullish order block. Didn't want to go down any more than that. That was it. That was all we wanted. Is it 10 o'clock yet? I said I was going to turn the stream off at 10 if we hadn't taken these lows by then and shown some sort of a reversal pattern that I could play with. And we have not. I think we are going to range. I think settlement's going to be a magnet. I think anytime we dip, you could probably buy and go back to settlement. Anytime we go up, you could probably sell and go back to settlement. But I think we're going to be using settlement as our magnet today. Doesn't really matter what I think. We could start down, come all the way down to here, all the way down to here, all the way up to here. But settlement, I think, is going to be the magnet. Or close to it. Or new day opening gap. But I'm not seeing any PD arrays I'm interested in on either of the indexes. All I'm seeing is chop. Chop, chop, chop. Let's look at the choppiness index. Wouldn't that be fun? And then I'll let y'all go. Start your day. Choppiness index. I don't know how to read it, but it's correct. We're choppy. Oh, it's getting less choppy over here. We're only down to 40% choppy now. But here we were super choppy. Doesn't it seem like this would have been the higher choppy? Another indicator. Can I delete this? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, I'm locking out. I'm not going to trade it. I'm finishing my week with a $400 profit, and I'm smiling about it. There we go. I will not lose money on Friday. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and go run my errands. We'll talk to y'all next week. Maybe I'm going to put up a hypo video. I don't know if I'll even do one for next week. I might take the whole daggone week off. We'll just have to see. But thanks for watching. Y'all have a good weekend. You know, if I get done with my errands, there's a possibility I might trade another account in the afternoon, and so I might see you this afternoon, but not really likely unless price action really starts doing some good stuff. Not going to happen.